Hello, hello. Hey, let us put some music. Let's put some music. Yeah. Welcome to RisecureLab. So today, a couple of weeks or a couple of days, I've been working on creating a simulation on how we can exploit Mac PC. So here we have a Mac, which is Mac. It's an old Mac. Mac High Sierra, right? Version 10 1.13.6. So to begin, I'm going to use Mythic with the Poseidon agent and see if you can get a callback and maybe steal some document from the Mac, right? So the document that we are going to be targeting, here it is. Now since this is a demo, we are going to simulate already. I'm not going to go through the initial access process because it's another field on its own. It's a deeper field on its own, because Mac has a number of security features that I have not gone so deep into them. But for now, this is the document that we are going to try and retrieve, if assuming we already have access, or we have remote access, or we get remote access to the system. You can go ahead and manipulate the payload as you wish to get past the security features and use something like a social engineering to get the malware into the system. Alright, let me go to our attacker machine, which is our Debian system. I already had tried this out, so I'll go ahead and exit this callback. Hide this. Let me zoom in a little bit. Then, to create your payload, you just go into create payload. The installation process of Mythic is trivial. You can go into the Mythic documentation and look at the process of installing. It's so trivial. It's like 3 commands. Then you install the payloads. For now, we are targeting a Mac. You can see all the number of operating systems that you can target. Now we are targeting a Mac. I'm going to use the Poseidon. We have a number of them here, which I'm going to select one of them. But if this is the first time you're doing this won't be here. You can go ahead and just go into next. Select the mode. We have C archive, which C archive is now the bin file, which is going to run like an exe, an executable. And we have the DLL version of Mac, which I think is drlib something. Yeah, dylib, something like that, or sofile. Sofile is for Linux. I'm sure .sofile are for Linux. Anyway, for the ingress, I'm going to use HTTP only. For OPSEC purposes, you might need to use a more secure communication channel like HTTPS. But for now, this is just a demo in a local lab. And create a next. Select the command that you want the payload to have. I'll just leave it as default. We are going to look at all these commands, some of these commands, more so to look at what the screen of the PC is. Let's say you have remote access, maybe mahali mbali, and you want to see what the person using that MAC address is doing in his PC. You can use something like the screen capture. I guess there's some screen capture. You have port forward, which you can navigate to other systems. Like hovering on these commands, you'll see it is all explained of what it does. And when you execute this command, you can also see that you'll see what the command does by when you execute help. We'll look at it. But for now, you just click on next. The profile that we are going to use is HTTP. HTTP, the profile that you are going to use, and include it. So the only thing that I'm going to change here is the callback. The callback is where the payload or the implant is going to communicate back to. And for our case, it's our local system, which with the IP. I'm not using a domain, but if you are maybe you have a VPS and you have configured the domain name, you can use that. Right now, I'm just using this IP address as my callback, which is 10.10.10.2. 10.10.2.10. You can go ahead and use HTTP for now because we set as HTTP. Click on next. And now when I click on create payload, it will go ahead and generate this payload, which I have already done that, so I'm not going to create it again. And the other thing is that you'll need internet access. Do that. If you don't want to have internet access, you have to configure your Mythic to build your payloads locally. So here is our payload, and I'm sure of it because if I go to the configuration, I have both the configuration for HTTP and HTTPS. Like for example, this has all the callbacks, which will be very noisy in an environment. You have HTTP here. I'll go ahead and download one of these. Let me see which one we're going to use. I want to use the HTTP one. You can use any, right? So I'll just download this one, and it is going to download. I had already done that, but for the case of this demo, I'll just leave it like that. It is downloaded here. Let me remove this one. Let this be .1 like that. Now I'll host it using Python in HTTP by running this command. And now I'll go back to our Mac. In our Mac, I'm going to open the terminal. Let me zoom in. Yeah, that's much better. I zoom into a Mac. Download it using curl. HTTP 10.10.2.10 on port 8181 and our poseidon.bin. So we have it here. I can make sure that it is not blank. See, human readable. See, it is 8 megs. I'll have to make it executable. Poseidon, and execute it. Now this is the process that you'll need to find creative ways of making sure that it is in that system. Hapa ndo kazi iko. And with that, if I go back to our attacking system and go to our callback, I'll see that I have callback here. So I'll go ahead and interact with this callback. Let me put it that it doesn't sleep. So you'll see the last check-in, it will change into a... Don't want this all these seconds to wait. Just want it to be, yeah, like that. So our first thing is look for the help at the help. You can go ahead and caffeinate it. Caffeinate, which the description is prevent the system from sleeping. Cut, this is viewing a file. Now our main aim. Let's say you are red teamers and you are told to try and access a certain file in the CEO's system, right? You can go ahead and now here I'm going to cheat a little bit because I know already where the file is. But if you don't, you'll have to find ways to navigate the system and see and find the file that you need to find. But for now, I just know where the file is. I know it is in the directory documents, and I'll change to that. The good thing, another good thing about Mythic is that these commands are very helpful when you are writing your report. When you're writing your red team or pen test report, these commands are very, very helpful. We're already in that document directory. Now I can look at what that directory has. Yeah, you can see the CEO. We have the report here. Now I can go ahead and download this report. And there we go. We have the reports. Another thing, we wanted to see what the person in that PC is doing, right? So I can go ahead and do the screen capture. And see if you can get the screenshot of that PC. There we go. As it was, right? There's our Mac, right? And I can confirm it by going to that Mac. And here it is. Okay. What else do you want us to do? Let's look at the help and see some other commands that we can run. You can look at the clipboard. Let me try and copy something into the clipboard and see if we can retrieve that. Let me just copy this one, right? Maybe we are typing a password, or we were copying Bitcoin addresses the same way, because Bitcoin addresses are very long. You are copying the same way flippers do. You copy the Bitcoin, it changes that Bitcoin address to the Clippers developer's address. When you paste it, it pastes the developer's Clippers address, and now you have your Bitcoin is gone. Now let me see if I can see. I already copied something into the clipboard. Now let me see if I can see something in the clipboard. The agent is processing. Are you going to get something? Are we going to get something? Are we going to get something? I can go ahead and even monitor that clipboard. I can go ahead and monitor the clipboard, which is another very useful feature. Now remember, this is just for demo. This is demo. I can make my. Let me try and see if I can try the persistent launch mode. Right? And try to restart our persistent launch demon. Don't think it is. Unfortunately, I don't think we are going to try that. Am I writing? Oh, persist, not persistent. Persist. Persist launch D. Ah, there we go. Treat new lines. I don't know. Let me just put it there. And see if it. I don't think we got anything from the clipboard. I think our callback died. Yeah, our callback died. Let me run it back again. Included define my masses and classes, headers I compile and distribute. Open source if you'd like to contribute. Arrays on arrays, my stack flows a tribute. For pushing and popping, X over nothing. Systematic. Let me see if I can do the persist again. Persist launch. Eagerly awaiting my macro advances. Running with my beta cause I'm taking chances. Increment I do while others key style. Flavor to the nth goes to the nth mile. I'll just put it there. I guess this. To the infinite. My function so intimate. I know my code better than you. View source. My code is mental. Did it run correctly? Cyborg the quintessential. Jacked in the matrix since day one. I don't know. Anyway. I guess with this now you can go ahead and continue playing with this payload or with this setup and see what you can do. Kuna vitu mingi unaweza fanya. This was just to break the ceiling, and yeah, ciao. Poseidon.